Little trickier situation in San Francisco with Brandon Aiyuk because they have a lot of high-paid players on their roster in San Francisco, including fellow wide receiver Deebo Samuel, who's set to make $22 million this year. The Niners have tried to extend Aiyuk, but it has not resulted in a deal to this point. He has skipped mandatory minicamp. He has made some noise recently on TikTok, and there are teams around the league watching to see if the Niners end up trading Brandon Aiyuk or Deebo Samuel as a result of their inability to find agreement with Aiyuk on a long-term deal. So this is a story that should stretch through the summer unless and until the 49ers finally find agreement with Aiyuk on a long-term contract.
You mentioned...
Okay, so this is really interesting to me as well, because originally I was hearing that, especially with getting Pearsall, the wide receiver for the 49ers, that would set them up to move on from Deebo, because he's more like what Deebo can do. And so the idea is you don't need two Deebos, and that Aiyuk and him would work out perfectly, because then you can pay Aiyuk, you move on from Deebo, you'll also be able to get something good for Deebo, and then you have Pearsall on here, you don't have to pay him like anything. But now I'm also hearing, though, that this idea of, you know what, moving on from Aiyuk and keeping Deebo. So it's just an interesting idea, and this is one of the videos that I like to make where I just pretty much ask you guys, like, what do you guys think, especially you 49ers fans and non-49ers fans, of course, like, what would you do / what do you want, right? Would you rather keep Aiyuk and move on from Deebo, or would you move on from Aiyuk and keep Deebo and develop Pearsall? Like, I'm really, really curious what you guys all have to say about this, because at this point, I'm kind of on the fence. I see the pros and cons to both. I see you move on from Deebo, especially because since he gets banged up, and he's technically closer to the end of his prime than not, right? And that makes it a little bit harder for Shanahan and the offense to game plan, especially because you don't know when he's going to be in and out because he is such a main focal point of the offense. But with that said, since he's such a main focal point of that offense, you kind of want to keep him. But if you truly believe the wide receiver that you just drafted can be Deebo 2.0, then, well, first off, you have to be really confident in that. Then you can move on from him. And now you can pay Aiyuk, who is more of a prototypical wide receiver, who you still also need that prototypical wide receiver. You can't just have a Deebo. And then there you go. Now it's essential. And you rewind the clock back, and the salary, and the contract back with the new wide receiver. So it is interesting. But then the other idea is Aiyuk is potentially being kind of difficult, because he reportedly wants like all the money in the world. Like, he wants to get paid as much as Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, I forget the other big wide receivers who signed recently. Like he wants that top level money. Like, he wants like top 3, top 2, money. And then the question is he worth that? And if he is, well, then it's like, what are the 49ers doing? So it's just a very interesting issue that the 49ers have. I will say this, and like Dan just said, that this is projected to go into the off, throughout the summer. And that's bad. That can't be debated from my viewpoint. It's not to say that you want to rush this process, right? Like, you want to have patience. You are the 49ers. You are an elite franchise. You are a consistently winning franchise and a historic franchise, and you play in a massive market in a beautiful area in California. So it's like, you're not hurting for stars, right? You shouldn't have to convince anyone to play there, and you have Shanahan. And so you don't have to rush this, but you also don't want it to fester, because you have Super Bowl aspirations. You were just in the Super Bowl. You need everything going well. You need to go into the season all hands on deck, one goal united, right? That's why they took care of Christian McCaffrey like right away, right? Like, they wanted to get that done. They didn't dilly-dally. They didn't play games. They just said, oh, we got this. So this is where things are difficult. But it is frustrating, though, because if you're a 49ers fan, or even if you're the front office, you're going to look at Aiyuk and say, yes, you're great. Yes, you deserve lots of money. But look at some of these other wide receivers that got paid. It's not San Francisco. Okay? They don't have Brock Purdy and Shanahan. They don't even get rid of Brock Purdy. They don't have Shanahan. They don't have this elite offensive mind that makes every single player better. They don't have beautiful San Francisco. They don't have that massive market, that massive fan base where you go to back-to-back NFC championship games and go to the Super Bowl. So sure, you can go get paid, Aiyuk. Go get paid in Carolina or in Cleveland or wherever. Good luck getting big numbers. Good luck. Yes, you might get paid, and congratulations. You're still going to get paid here. But if you're getting paid, and I'm going to totally make up numbers, completely make up numbers. What's better? Play in Carolina with like maybe a questionable quarterback and who the heck knows who the coach is and what the heck is going on, or play for even like the New England Patriots, whatever, and get paid $25 million a year and have no chance at winning, and you'll just fall into irrelevantness, irrelativity, whatever the word is, or play in San Francisco for like $4 million cheaper, where now you have Shanahan, who is brilliant. You have a legitimate chance for years to come to win a Super Bowl, and you get to be in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, which makes a difference when you're a player in those areas, especially if you're good with your money. There's a lot of investment opportunities, a lot. You hear a lot about that with the Golden State Warriors. When Kevin Durant went to Golden State and all that, like his investment portfolio opened, you just get exposed to people. So they're trying to make all this money, right? If it's all about the money, it will understand that if you're in San Francisco, you have much more opportunity to make money off the field, like tremendous amounts of money, relative to where if you were in Cleveland, Carolina, New England, wherever it may be. So I'm just curious, what would you guys do in that regard? Where would you go? Would you move on from Aiyuk, or would you move on from Deebo? Would you try everything you possibly can to sign them both? And if not, who do you choose? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.